This Las Vegas to NASCAR 2024 weekend betting recap edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with our promo code RACESGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you ask me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome in to an even year edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. And yes, just like the chat has already said, even year Logano cannot be denied. Boy, I tell you what, this is it's crazy, Cody. We're breaking down Las Vegas, and the inevitable happened. I feel like whatever the odds were for Joey Logano's even year championship earlier in the year, first of all, they were too long, and now they're probably too short. So how crazy is this?
Congratulations to three-time champion Joey Logano, Rod, 2024. Now,
I believe we have lost
NASCAR.
Cody. Yeah, he's Cody's experiencing the glitches of what happens to be the folks that are against Joey Logano's even year crusade. So I'm sorry that the hackers have hacked into your feed, Cody. I'm hoping that we get you back very, very soon. But in the meantime, yes, we are breaking down the Las Vegas race from this weekend, where, of course, Joey Logano took home the Cup race, or the Cup trophy this weekend. And we had some pretty fun, I think a lot more fun watching the Xfinity race earlier on Saturday, where AJ Allmendinger, an excited AJ Allmendinger. See, this is why I'm telling you, he is my spirit animal. Like, AJ Allmendinger is that guy that when he's high, and when he's low, and there's kind of no in-betweens. And right now, AJ Allmendinger riding the high. Want to welcome Cody back to the show. We're sorry that the terrorists have taken down your feed because you were about to crown Logano the even year champ. So, unfortunately, that's what happened. But
not sure how much you heard. It's for raining for the first time in 3 years here in Nebraska. So I think the internet doesn't know what to do with the rain, Rod. But yes, congratulations to Joey Logano, three-time champion of the sport. Now, that's your recap for the season, and we'll see you guys all next year.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I know I go like three races left this year, but it almost doesn't mean anything at this point because we crowned the champ today. Or this
Rod,
weekend.
it's so crazy. Like, he would not have made the playoffs if he didn't win a 5 overtime fuel mileage race. He was 18th place or something close to that when regulation ran out at Nashville. Had he not won there, he would not have qualified for the playoffs because he would not have been inside of the points to be inside of the top 15 or top 16. So already doesn't luck into it, right? It's still part of it. It's skill, it's strategy, all that. But already like squeaks into the playoffs. Immediately wins a super speedway and moves on to the next round. Then he's eliminated, Rod. He's done. He's out. It's over. But wait, there's more. He's back from the dead. And then the first race back from the dead locks himself into the championship race. I mean, Joey Logano, I don't even know. I was trying really hard to think of a comparison. Like, who is a really good, or who is like just an average quarterback that maybe above average, right? Well, let's like an above average quarterback during the regular season that the playoffs come around and you just like, they can't be stopped. Like, I don't, is that like early career Tom Brady or like, I don't even know, but it's crazy because he's good, right? And he's a good driver, but he's not competing to win every single week, and he's not the fastest car. And he has 3 wins this season, and he's not been like a dog. I'm pretty sure he's led 9 laps in all 3 races, actually, if we go check. Like, it's so crazy, right? I don't understand. But here we are. He's got a chance to win a championship. And look, that's what the system was designed for. So if you're bitching about that, this is what we want. This is what the system is here for. This is Butler getting to the Final Four. Now it's a Duke guy, right? Like he's kind of one of the blue bloods, but he's Cinderella this year, Rod. And here we are.
Here we are indeed. And, you know, again, I just, you got to tip your cap to him because he wasn't the fastest car all day. He did not have the car to beat. Strategy played a part. Angels was carrying that 22 car across the finish line. I mean, call it what it will, but it was fantastic. We'll talk all about that, but I want to tell you first that the NBA season is tipping off October 22nd, and the NBA Gambling Podcast is hosting a win totals contest. Winner of that contest is going to get a $250 SGPN gift card. Head over right now to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA contest to enter today before the season starts. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/NBA podcast. And as always, we thank you for tuning in to this show. We hit a couple bets. Hope you did too. And if you did, and if you liked what you heard because of it, then toss us a little 5-star review. That's all we ask of you. Just give us one little 5-star rating, and we'll love you forever. It takes a couple of seconds to click on it, and then just log in that you love this show as much as you do. Only you, folks, can prevent corporate gambling from taking over the world, and it's a star away, 5 stars to be exact, away. Yes. So yeah, Cody, that race in and of itself had so much. I don't want to say there was drama in it because there was a lot of it where it was just kind of like, oh, there was drama, but like, I don't know. There was a lot of it that was kind of like, okay, we're waiting. Now there's drama. Okay, we're waiting. Now there's drama, but there was pit strategies. There was fuel strategy. There was a lot going on, especially at the end.
And yet somehow we're only in the 60s on the good race, Paul Rado. What again? The fuck do you people want? I don't
know.
You want Bell to continue to dominate and win?
No, because I would have made it a 40%. Good
yeah,
race.
like I don't know. I just say you can't keep these people happy, right?
No. But again, it was a very entertaining race. There was a lot of stuff going on, and let's. I guess we can dive right into our bets from that race because I feel like that's a good place to start talking about it. Yeah, go ahead, Cody.
Let's do that, Rod. Well, boy, this turned out to be quite the battle, and this was the poll buster, right? You guys darn happy with the race. You vote no every week on the good race poll. So here, you need to bet on groups like this, and this turned out to be exciting, Rod. Group G on Caesars. I told you could finish 25th and win this race. Not so fast, my friends. This was a race inside the top 5 at the end of the day, with John Nemechek winning Group G in 9th place. Of course, the guy I said had the least chance to win this, but they played the strategy game. They were on that same cycle that Logano and Suarez were, and he held on to it, got enough fuel to get to the end, finished in 9th place, and scored the win. LaJoie's the guy that I picked at plus 250 in this group, and he was there too, Rod. They also stayed out, played some strategy. He was top 5 for a little while there at the end, ends up 14th at the end of the day. This is where I thought LaJoie would be, was about 14th, and in most normal races, this should have easily cashed this bet, which obviously it didn't today. And Harrison Burton in 15th. Again, he sort of played some strategy there. SVG, kind of the one that was out to lunch, right? 29th place finish. Started 34th. Sort of what we're kind of expecting from him on ovals in the Cup Series right now. And so, yeah, this was exciting. I'm going to continue, Rod, if we get the option to find these shitbox specials. We're going to keep betting on them because the sweat alone, we didn't cash the bet, but the sweat alone and watching John Hunter fall from 5th place back to 9th, and I was just hoping he'd go a little farther back, was worth it. So, yeah, missed out on LaJoy winning Group G, but this was a fun one, and I'm going to continue to find either the head-to-heads or the groups that have these shitbox specials inside of them.
I mean, look, for a while there when LaJoy was inside the top 5, I was like, holy cow, this is and that strategy was fantastic. Like those guys made the right call at the right time to do what they did. And it just, to me, that was that. Well, obviously that was the winning call, but like you do have to stay out a little bit longer. You have to figure this. You got new tires coming at you. You got Christopher Bell right behind you, eating you up alive and passing everybody in chart except for Logano at the end. But like, first and foremost though, Cody, if I were to tell you that in one wreck in under 100 laps, we would lose Reddick, essentially Elliott, Keselowski, and Blaney, that's some heavy hitters at the top of that list, which is why the top 10 was a little more erratic than it usually is.
Yeah, that wreck really shook things up, obviously in the playoffs, obviously for the race. Ended up changing some strategies and whatnot too. So yeah, it made for chaos, and that's what makes this fun, right? We did have all these different strategies. Suarez, is he going to hold on and win the race? Then all of a sudden, Joey finds the boost button with just enough fuel to get around him. Pretty crazy. Andrew says he's glad John Hunter stayed top 10. He cashed a lot. What all did you put it in here, Andrew? Because I'd like to read it on the show. But Andrew is over in the Discord, which you should be there as well. sg.pn/NASCAR, or no, sg.pn/Discord rather. And then find the NASCAR channel. But he cashed a lot of shit this week. I think he had Suarez top Chevy. He's the one in the show, and we'll get to it. I was asking for the Joey Logano bet. He kept saying, take him to win, take him to win. I didn't listen, unfortunately, but he was the one. He had the John Hunter top 10. Great week for him. And TK pointing out that LaJoy beat all of Spire. LOL. That he did. I know Haley was up there in the top 10 for a while, but yeah, the strategy play ended up working for LaJoy.
Yep. Suarez top Chevy 12.5 to 1, by the way, for Andrew. So good job on him to get that done.
1 plus, that's 125 to 1.
Oh, shoot. My eyes are that.
And then John Hunter at 20 to 1 for the top 10.
That's a good day. That's
ballsy plays, first of all, for both of those. But fuck yeah, let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. We have the smartest listeners in the entire world. So absolutely love it. Okay. I want to apologize for this bet. I did not get the memo that Martin Truex Jr. was not.
I tried to give you the memo, Rod.
I put it in the shredder. Like, you gave it to me, and I just looked at it. I was like, no, this isn't right.
This was almost the right call when Truex caused that big wreck. You just
it was almost
and somehow survived.
Oh yeah. So I had Busch over Truex, not to bury the lead. At -115. Busch didn't have a good qualifying effort, anyways. He started in 20th, and you're right. I mean, almost. Truex kind of took this and made this a cashing ticket. I mean, Truex started 12th anyways, and was like, he had a great qualifying effort. He ends up finishing 6th.
He was
Kyle
running.
Busch,
I mean, Truex was running second to Bell for a good chunk of the day too, before we sort of ended up in the strategy calls and everything. So he had a good day. He
had a decent enough car, but Kyle Busch, not really there. I mean, he was not even really jockeying. He was in the top 10 every once in a while. Like I said, he ended up finishing 13, but those strategy calls, especially at the end, when guys like Christopher Bell were climbing because they had the newer tires, when, guys like some of the other guys we're going to talk about later put those tires on late, and they just started climbing through the field and picking off all the guys that kind of stayed out. So yeah, unfortunately didn't cash. Truex, this is the one you got me, buddy. Tip of the cap.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yes, I did like Truex in this head-to-head. I also had Truex top 10, -125. This was one of my favorite bets in the week. Rod, I kept bringing him up all week. I talked about him on the betting episode, talked about him on the fantasy episode, talked about him on the underdog episode, all about Truex this week. I was very scared when that wreck happened because I thought he was going to be part of it. Instead, he just caused all the chaos and held on. But yeah, 6th place finish for him. Obviously cashes the top 10. I had the top Toyota plus 550. Bell, of course, gets that in 2nd place. But Truex was, arguably the next best Toyota on the day throughout the entire day. Something happens to Bell there at the end, or if he ends up taking the strategy and staying out and getting it. I think that these were both good bets. So cash some on Truex this week in the top 10 market. Got him on underdogs. We got hell of a number over an underdog. And he easily cleared that. So good day for all the Truex love. Maybe the last time we have that for a while, but yeah, Truex worked out for us.
Worked out for you. Not for me. I did not. I was not on the right end of that.
It was us, as in myself and the listeners who.
Yeah. Yes, it was. All right, we're going to continue down with our betting card.
Andrew's still going here real quick. Logano outright at 18-1. Top Ford 2-1. Bell top Toyota plus 375. Whew, buddy. What a weekend.
Some unit allocations right there. That's going to get you through the rest of the season for sure. So, yeah, definitely get in the Discord if you haven't already, because he puts all those plays in there for you guys as well to go along with what we give you. So, great day all around for the listeners, and it's a great day on Underdog as well. We just talked about it. Martin Truex coming through for us in a pinch. I'm sorry, for Cody in a pinch, and for those of you that did take his advice, because Underdog Pick'em has one of the biggest menus for all of sports. You want NFL? Got it. College football? Got it. MLB, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR, Formula One, so much more. Get in on that. The Boost Ober is upon us, which means you're getting a spooky amount of profit boosts and so much more, with NBA tipping off. Every NBA Pick'em entry from 10/19 to 10/27 will be boosted. We are now in the boosting period. You can now use specials and boosts on all flex entries. Today, I'm going to get down on Derrick Henry. First TD score higher than 0.5, which means he will get that first touchdown of the game. That dude's done it like 4 times so far this season for the Ravens, and he just doesn't slow down at all. The boost on this one is 2.34, so you'll get 2.34 times on this one to get you in there. So make sure you build on that one. If you're listening right now live, or if you've listened before the Monday Night Football game, get down on that, because this is going to be a good game for Derrick Henry in that rushing game. Looking forward to that. In the meantime, though, sign up with the promo code RACESGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code RACESGPN. Derrick Henry, bulldozer. That guy's going to go crazy tonight.
He's pretty good, Rod. K. Dotton, higher than 38.5 receiving yards. Another one that I like. Laser Mayfield has been on fire lately, and I think that he will continue to do so, Rod.
Absolutely love it. All right, I had another top 10, and I had Ross Chastain at even money. BetUS was giving us even money for Ross Chastain to be inside of the top 10. Ross Chastain started in 7th place. Ross Chastain finished in 7th place. It was not a very statistically good day for Ross Chastain. However, a nice, solid run for him. We said he was going to run well. There was a lot of people that were like, oh, look, Ross Chastain's up there. And I was like, I told you he'd be up there. Ross Chastain, really good driver at Las Vegas.
Did he have a speeding? Was it a speeding penalty or something? He had to come back down pit road for something.
He did.
He was able to recover from
that.
So, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey. Yeah, it was. Look, he's been really, really good at Las Vegas. You found that. You pointed it out. Even money for a top 10 was a great number there. I had Alex Bowman, top 10, Rod, plus 140. Only regret here, should have took the top 5. Pissed off Bowman shows up. He finishes in 5th place. Good run for him. He ended up starting 3rd on the day. And he was really up there kind of throughout the entire day. I know he was 6th in stage 2. And then ends up 5th place at the end of the day. So we'll take it. At Noah Gragson, top 10 at plus 450. He ends up in 18th place. Again, it's hard to know the cycling out kind of there at the end. I don't remember exactly where he was, but I felt like he was a lot closer to 10th place at one point near the end there than he ended up being at the end of the day. So doesn't pan out for Gragson, but the Bowman top 10 did cash at plus 140. Just missed out on the Gragson one, but that's all right.
Yep. Pissed off Bowman, a good Bowman to bet on. Cody. Tyler Reddick, top 5, plus 160 over on BetUS. This
bet resides in the same place as our championship bet does, I think, Rod.
Yeah, that was and he's going to have a hard time coming back, because that's a very difficult hole to climb out of unless he gets a win. Obviously, Tyler Reddick starts on the outside pole, doesn't lead right away. He's kind of hanging around, ends up winning the first stage, and then, as we documented, gets taken out in that pretty big wreck. We never see him the same way again.
How about the I think it was our buddy James Rowland that had posted some serious Dale Earnhardt vibes from that. Like rolls the car and then drives it back to pit road, which was just great. But
without and look, he rolled the car, right? And there wasn't even like a second of hesitation when he drove it back. Like as soon as it tipped back over, he just hit the gas.
Okay, here we go.
I'm like,
she's still fine, guys. We're good.
Who does that? Like it dude's in the air, like freaking on his hood, flips back over and just hits the gas. Like, all right, and we're back. Like it's insane. But yeah, poor Tyler Reddick. And then just the exasperation in his interview afterwards because he just didn't know what happened. Like it just snuck up on him. It was there, and then
it's just like Toyota guys were really hurting Toyota guys this weekend. Like,
yeah, they were.
I think Gibbs obviously ultimately sort of cost Bell the win by spinning out when he did. Truex took out both. Because Denny ended up being. Did Denny get damage in this wreck as well? Or maybe he didn't get damage, but his car sucked all day. But Reddick gets taken out in this one. I don't really know what Truex was doing there exactly, but definitely fucked up. And so, that was unfortunate. Look, I think Reddick would have been a top 5 car. He was fast all day, obviously winning stage 1, starting near the front there. Just unfortunately got caught up in it. Speaking of caught up in it, Rod, Ty Gibbs, top 5, 3-1. I was watching this race and I was like, suck it, Rod. Look how good Ty Gibbs looks. 6th place in stage 1. Leads, what he lead? 22 laps or something like that. Up front, he was fast. He looked good. Then we get the speeding penalty, Rod. Then we spin out racing Kyle Larson. So this one didn't cash. And the next bet on the dock in this spot, Rod, was Joey Logano. I said we have to put money on Joey Logano. We need money on Joey Logano. How are we going to do it? Andrew tried to talk me into the outright. Unfortunately, I did not go that route. But I said top Ford plus 240 because I told you Fords weren't going to be very good. Fords weren't very good, Rod, including Joey Logano. But he is the king of fuel saving. He got it done, right? He held off just long enough. 2 more laps, maybe Bell would have got him, but didn't. Either way, ends up being the top Ford by an easy margin. Chris Buescher was the next best Ford in 10th place, and you got to go all the way to Corey LaJoie in 14th place as far as Fords go. So great job betting on Joey, I guess. Should have took more, but we'll take what we can get.
Hey, when we crowdsource the bets from the chat and they pick cash for you, I'm telling you, this show,
right.
guys, if you're not listening already, then first of all, you're not hearing me tell you that you're not listening. But second of all, if your friends aren't listening, they need to be listening to this show. This is fun and it's informative and it actually wins you money as well. But listen, the handicap for Gibbs from me was never that he's not a good driver. He's gonna win a shit ton of races later in his life. But right now, this sophomore slump, whether it's speeding, whether it's spinning out, whether it's whatever, like he's going to look good 1,000% because he's a damn good driver. But something always happens. And I don't care what anybody says until it changes. I'm fading Ty Gibbs and you can hum-haw me all you want, but I'm going to point to the finish column and you're going to see the actual answer to the question. So, and this is the reverse of the Truex because I didn't listen to Truex and you didn't listen on Gibbs. So we're here. This is where we're at.
Yep, win for each of us. There we go.
Exactly. And I'm trying to stall because I don't want to get to my Kyle Busch top 3 bet because that didn't cash either. So I mean it was 5-1. It was a longer shot top 3. So but we just talked about him a little bit ago. He just didn't have the speed. He didn't have that car that he needed to be a contender. So yeah, Kyle Busch did not finish in the top 3. I'm moving on.
Well, let's move on to a number of Fords in the top 10. Under 2.5 at plus 130, Rod. Easy cash. We end up with 2 at the end of the day, right? Joey wins. Buescher sneaks into 10th. And then, like I mentioned before, LaJoie was the next best Ford back in 14th place. So fairly easy cash. Early in the race, as I was watching stage 1 unfold, I'm like, oh, boy. Yeah, 4 Fords in the top 10. The end of stage 1 with Keselowski, Buescher, Logano, Cindric. You're like, all 3 Penske cars are up, or 2 of the 3 Penske cars, I guess, and then the 2 RFK cars. I counted Keselowski as a Penske car in there still, Rod. Whoops, time to catch up. It doesn't race for them anymore. But then, stage 2, you still had 3 of them up there with Priest sneaking into that 10th place. Obviously, Brad kind of getting taken out in that big wreck, and Blaney. Then you're like, okay, there's 2 of the bigger contending Fords that you would expect not in there. But yeah, this ended up not really being close at the end of the day. That's what the trends have been at Las Vegas. That's what the trends have been at the 1.5 miles. And worked out for us. And we got a good number at plus 130 on it. So you like to see that.
You think Brad still has a key to the Penske factory on his keychain?
I
I've
think
got keys to random things I don't even know that they are anymore on keychains.
They probably changed the locks or something since then.
I
mean, he owns another Ford team at this point, so
I mean,
probably not.
It's probably like in the jar that nobody checks anymore, and there's a whole bunch of just like a key thing, and he's like, "Oh, I wonder what this is to anymore." And then walks up to our Penske and be like, "Oh, that still opens. Yeah, that's great." No, I feel like I want to go back through every place I've ever been with all the keys just to see
what does this go to. I need to figure this out.
It opens, but you know what? It does open. The key to the winning car number. We hit it again, ladies and gentlemen. Winning car number, I said was going to be even. Joey Logano, the 22 car.
You were hitting this either way, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the only way that would have probably crushed this if Daniel would have stayed up there or if Reddick would have been able to stay up there, because it was Logano in first at 22, Christopher Bell chasing him down to 20. So either way, we would have been happy with that one. Byron was there in fourth with the 24 car, Bowman in fifth with the 48 car. So 4 of the top 5 cars, all even. We had this thing circled, and that was fun. We said that this was going to be one of those days where you're going to hedge if a even car does end up winning, but you'll bet on a couple of outright odd cars just to cover you if one of the odd cars does happen to do it. So yeah, that was fun. I was like, okay, if Logano's going to win, at least it's going to cash this even bet for us.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great call by you. I feel like we really did a good job on the outrights this week, Rod. We didn't hit the outright, and you're not always going to. And again, if that's the only thing you're betting on, you've really got to rethink that, because it's not what you're going to hit on most of the time. But we had great calls. Larson was super, super low number. He's plus 360. We talked about it, right? He's been really good here. He should be really good here. He was really good last week. But we haven't had back-to-back winners. Things seem to go wrong. There's and maybe for the best. Everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong for Larson all in 1 week, all at the same time. Maybe they got it all out of their system, but just could not catch a break with issue after issue after issue. And then the pits, just forgetting to change an entire one tire. Boy, for one of the best crews in the garage was crazy. But we didn't have Larson on our outright card. But this is why, again, when we say it's just not worth betting him. Now, he could have come out and led 200 laps and won the race, and we'd have been like, well, he beat us. But more times than not, something goes wrong, and that's what happened there. And so that's when you're asking, when you go back next time and you're like, well, he's on fire, and he's been so good here, and it's all these things. There's just so many things that can go wrong. And even if he'd have been the best car on the day, Rod, even if he'd have led all the laps, even if he'd have dominated the race, he might not have won, like Christopher Bell at 10-1. Unfortunately, did not win for me, but there's not, 2 more laps, I think Bell gets to him. Maybe if Blaney's not the lap car right there playing defense, is there a better team than Team Penske in the entire garage? Probably not. These guys just always have their backs. And so, yeah, Bell at 10-1 was clearly the correct call on the day. Doesn't cash, but you would place this bet a million more times knowing how the race went. William Byron at plus 850. He was sort of not there at the beginning, but then he was up there for a while. He's running in second for a bit. Ends up in 4th place at the end of the day. At plus 850, you'll take that. And then Chastain at 20-1. He ends up 7th. Maybe if he doesn't have that penalty, Rod, we see something different. Maybe they're able to play the strategy game or whatever. But yeah, unfortunately, didn't cash any of these. But I feel really good about the bets that were placed, about the numbers that we got them at. And ultimately, cashing the bets is what matters the most, right? Because that's what we're here for. But being on the right track, placing the correct bets is all part of, look, we're doing this 36 or 38 weeks out of the year for the Cup Series, and plus the Xfinity, plus the trucks. So you have to go through the process. You have to be placing the right bets in order to hit the bets. That's when, you're going to hit more bets that way by doing it the correct way. Joey got it this time, but I felt like we placed good bets, and I feel like your outright was a good one too. And wrong place, wrong time. There was nothing I don't think that he could have done to avoid that.
Yeah, no, my outright dream died at lap 89 as Tyler Reddick flipped through the air, Ricky Bobby style, and but again, he landed and kept going. I look, if there's a superhero, it's Tyler Reddick at this point, because that dude is just fierce for being able to overcome that flip and just keep going. I mean, look, he won stage 1. I don't know that he would have won this race because there was so much that was going on in it. If it weren't for that, even if it weren't for that, I mean, he would have been in contention. I mean, this would have been probably a 3-person race between him, Bell, and Logano at the end there, because I think they were playing their cards right the whole time through. It's hard to win when your car is not on the ground. That's really all there is to it. Mark Cobb,
that does make it a struggle.
When all 4 wheels aren't on the track, I'm pretty sure it's hard to actually win. Mark wants to know, am I the only one that was absolutely pissed that Joey won? I want to see a Toyota win the championship so bad.
I don't think you're the only one that's pissed, but yeah, and hopefully you guys have been listening to Rod. Rod picked Joey before the season even started. It was based on the even year thing. I know that Bianchi's been touting out the even year thing, and it's all cool for everybody to have the even year thing, but go back and listen last November after the races, after the season, and when we started talking about the outrights, like Rod's been on it forever, and that ticket's still alive. So shout out to him. I did see Rowdy Nation over in the Discord had shared this from Steven Stump on X. Starting at Nashville on June 30th, Joe Gibbs Racing has led 996 laps without a win to show for it. 548 of those laps have been led by Christopher Bell. It's just been, man, and I still think that Bell is the guy that if he makes it to Phoenix Rod, I think I'm probably going to be on. And I was on him last year, and I think he would have had a chance if that brake rotor didn't blow early. But Bell is definitely the best chance at this point in time, right? Because Denny is just something is seriously wrong with Denny. I don't know what. I don't know if it's the lawsuit thing is really just taken away, but they are just struggling. He was just trashed this weekend. I mean, not good. Now he's in a hole already. Tyler Reddick, I'm not going to say that Homestead's a must win, but he's going to have a hell of a day because he's not very good at Martinsville. It's a tough road for Toyota, I think, at this point. Bell, I think, is definitely your best chance, but I'd be a little surprised if they have more than one Toyota in the Final Four at the way we sit right now, at least, anyways, Rod.
Well, Denny Hamlin's the podcast. Anybody that podcasts can't possibly be able to win a championship. That's the way it works. So,
that's Corey LaJoy's problem. Okay.
See, he's stacking too many pennies.
That's the only thing that's in his way. I get it.
Hard to win with all those pennies weighing down the car. All right. We'll talk about the Xfinity race here in a second. We'll put the Cup race to bed. And we'll go over our Xfinity card, which actually was pretty good too. So we'll talk through that. But first, let me tell you about BetUS. We're brought to you by BetUS. You can bet with the best in the business, BetUS. BetUS has been around for more than 30 years. Easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. U.S. players, come on down. You're always welcome to bet at BetUS. Sign up now and deposit $100. You're going to get a chance to win a 1960 Ford Mustang. Love BetUS. We just told you that we cashed a lot of tickets on BetUS. Ross Chastain Even Money was a good one for that one as well. So we found some really good deals over there on BetUS. Make sure you get in on those as well. Use our link in the meantime and sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN so they know that we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. SGPN's proud partner, Rhythm, is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, and props. You can build your own model, copy one of the top-performing models from the leaderboard, or press Build a Model for Me, and Rhythm gives you predictions for every game and player prop, and also has a myriad of stats, research, and trend analysis to give you even more betting insights. Plus, Rhythm's NBA models are now live. I love going to my friend Sam Wagman. He is actually a very good predictor. He uses Rhythm's model all the time and uses it to perfection. He is actually predicting that the Monday Night Football game is going to go under 50 points based on his model that he built. So you go check that out too over there on Rhythm. They got tons of smart minds posting in the community post. Sam is one of them. Again, he's predicting that the Monday Night Football game for the Ravens and Bucks going under 50 points at -110. Go get yours now and get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Just to wrap up the Cup Series real quick, Rod. Points update. Looking at it, Joey Logano has obviously punched his ticket. He's locked into Phoenix. He'll be one of the 4 drivers racing for the championship. It doesn't matter what he does the next 2 races, which is sort of an interesting thing because, like, really it's all about go win the race because playoff points don't matter anymore. Points don't matter. Like, he's one of the final 4, and we know it's just the best finisher in that race. So really nothing else matters, which means also that now all of their focus turns to getting that Phoenix car ready. All of his sim time should go to Phoenix. They should be completely focused on Phoenix, which is a huge advantage for him. So he's locked in, Rod. Christopher Bell is a 42-point cushion. Normally you'd be like, wow, that's a big cushion. That's great. But Rod, we have 2 more races before this. What if Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney win those 2 races at the bottom of this group of 8? Suddenly, now there's only, he's only got a 7-point cushion over Kyle Larson currently. This could disappear super fucking fast, so I would not feel good about it. Obviously, Bell was super dejected after the race. I mean, they thought they had it, and they brought the car that did have it. So be interesting to see him continue to go forward. But Kyle Larson's 35 to the good. Same story there, right? You feel good, but definitely not locked in by any means. William Byron, 27 to the good. Hamlin, 27 to the bad. Reddick, 30. Blaney, 47. Chase Elliott's 53, Rod. I still don't think anybody's in a must-win situation. We saw this weekend how quickly things can go bad, right? And we saw the last race of the regular season for the Xfinity Series guys. Cole Custer overcame 43-point deficit to win the title from Allgaier in one day. That's obviously possible. And even, 27 points for Denny Hamlin to William Byron. Like, if he goes out and wins 2 stages next week, right? That's 20 points there. And say Byron finishes in 5th in both of them. That's only 10 points. Then boom, you got 10 points cut off the deficit. You finish 5 spots ahead of him. Now it's 15 points, whatever. So, like, it's definitely can be taken. These points can be cut quickly. And we've obviously seen how bad they can go for a playoff driver or multiple guys. So nobody's out of this by any means, but that's where everybody stands, leaving Las Vegas and heading to Homestead, Miami.
Yep, Sheryl Crow, what a good song about it too, called Leaving Las Vegas. So not about NASCAR, but just Las Vegas in general. All right, so let's turn our attention to the Xfinity race where AJ Allmendinger gets it done, gets himself into the championship conversation there at the end of the season. Led 102 laps, just a flat-out dominant car for AJ Allmendinger. Starts 9th, though, and drives his way to the win. Cody, this is the AJ Allmendinger that I'm excited about, hitting microphones, getting all super animated about it. But yeah, this is the AJ Allmendinger I love.
Yeah, absolutely. He's locked in for race. It's the same thing, right? He's locked in. He's got a chance at the championship. He's going to run for the championship Xfinity Series, which, again, we know he's going to the Cup Series again full-time next year. Boy, walking off with an Xfinity Series title would be great. And you can't count him out because he just dominated the day. This wasn't a fuel mileage thing. Like, he had a really good day, a really good car, took care of business, and punched that ticket. So shout out to AJ Allmendinger. Oh, Ryan Sieg, Rod. We didn't have any bets on him, so I'd just like to talk about him real quick. Oh, my God. So close again. He had his opportunities. He ran him down. I thought he was going to pass him. Then we get the caution, just not able to get there. Oh, it's coming for my guy, Ryan Sieg, soon, Rod. In retrospect, we both talked about the top 5 at 4-1. We're like, the number's not good enough. Number was good enough, Rod. Should have took it, but that's neither here nor there. I think a few people in our Discord did have it. So shout out to them for listening to our advice that we didn't give.
It's because we always give it. It's so ingrained in their memories that they were just like, they didn't.
I mean, and we still talked about it. So maybe we talked them into it by, it wasn't a lean by any means, right? We had a conversation about it, right? Don't go reporting us to Sean. We weren't leaning that way, right? We just said that we didn't think the number was good enough for what you were getting. And obviously it ended up being good enough. You know what else was good enough, Rod? Sheldon Creed versus Sam Mayer. I tried to tell everybody. I tried to warn everybody. You can't trust Sam Mayer. You got to go with Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed's been kicking Sam Mayer's ass week after week after week. I had to sweat for this one. I had to work very hard for this one, Rod. But paid off. Sheldon Creed over Sam Mayer, minus 115. What do you have to say for yourself, Rob?
Well, for about 2/3 of this race, it was the other way around, where Sam Mayer was having
Do
the
they
best.
pay after the first 2/3 of the race, or is it only after the checkered flag? I can't remember.
When you cash out, right? When you just hit cash out, there's a lot of people that like to cash out of their
Ooh.
bets. So
Sore subject in the NASCAR betting world. Don't bring that up.
yeah. No, but listen. So yeah, this did not hit. But I will say to you that Creed almost creeded it up. So this was very close to being creeded.
Creed almost made it happen.
Well, listen, Creed started 38th, right? He started dead last because he couldn't qualify. And I thought for sure we were looking at a great day for
I was
Mayer.
a little nervous at that point. Actually, still, I bet this again after qualifying because I got it at plus money. Like, I think it was, I don't have to go back and look. It was plus 130 or 140 or something. They still had the matchup up, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm still going to take this. And then, yeah.
Well, because Mayer qualified 4th. So, I mean,
Yeah.
he was in the top 10.
Yeah, I was so surprised they even left the matchup up because of the starting difference, but worked out. So, yeah, I mean, this was like Mayer really was ahead of Creed majority of the day, and I feel like it wasn't until that last caution where Mayer actually Creed actually got around. Yeah, I mean,
it was because
if we
Mayer
didn't get that caution.
Yeah,
then
he
he wasn't going to get him. So, sort of looked into it, but at the same time, like that's the thing with Mayer is he just hasn't been finishing these races good. That was why I was going against him. So, yeah, that was each of our first bets. We were each on opposite sides of this. Luckily, I beat you, Rod, so we'll take that. Something I did not win in was – oh, wait, I did win this. Gosh, what am I thinking? Chandler Smith, top 5. Even money, Rod. Chandler Smith, 4th place. That is inside the top 5. He qualified 3rd, right? So good start from him. You're excited about that. Looks good. And then he sort of he fell back at the beginning of the race. And I was in and out of the Xfinity race, so I didn't necessarily catch the entire first half. I saw the last about third of it when Sheldon Creed got around Sam Mayer, which was all that mattered. But Chandler Smith worked his way back up there. 5th place in stage 2, ends up in 4th place at the end of the day. Yeah, cashes, even money. We'll take it.
No, Chandler Smith, he was obviously in the mix, in the top cars, and he was doing the right things at the right time. He wasn't getting himself into trouble. So, yeah, he definitely earned that top 5. Somebody that earned a top 5 that didn't get it, Cole Custer. So pissed. He finished 8th place, and he was in the top 5. But again, like these strategies that got called and people on different tire strategies, like Cole Custer just started to drop off, got passed by Herbst, got passed by Love, got passed by Kligerman there at the end of the race. And I mean, Cole Custer was sitting there one of those last restarts close enough to 5th place to make a run at it and did not. He just kept getting passed, but he was in the top of the leaderboard for a better part of the day. He was a top 3 car at one point. He led 31 laps in this race, like started on the outside pole. It was looking really good for a Cole Custer top 5, but that 0-0 just lost it somewhere in the middle of that race. Never got it back.
He's leading at the beginning of this race, and I'm like, God, why do I keep not playing him in DFS? I'm kicking myself because it looked like it was going to be another Custer day, and then just sort of fell off, which was unfortunate. A bet that was cashing until that final caution, Rod. Herbst, top 5, plus 220. This one was, he was top 5. I think he was actually in 5th before the caution came out. It was looking pretty good. I don't think he was going to get past. So I was like, all right, that's another one we're going to cash. That's great. Caution comes out, of course. Riley drops from 5th to 7th, right ahead of his teammate Cole Custer there. Unfortunately, we don't get top 10 odds in Xfinity, which we obviously hate. But, just missed out on this. But plus 220 for a guy that was there until the late caution and then ends up just 2 spots outside of it. You'll take it. Again, in a week that we mentioned this multiple times, right? We didn't get great top 5 numbers, Rod. And yet the 2 bigger ones we gave out, of course, we pass on Sieg, and he's the one that cashes. The 2 bigger ones we give out, we're both so fucking close.
Well, speaking of bet that was so close, Jesse Love, top 5. Jesse Love, top 6. He led 3 laps in this race. He was actually leading at the kind of tail end of this race before AJ caught back up to him. But I mean, there was no way he was going to win this race. But I was watching as it was Love, And then Kligerman starts charging through the field. And I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Like, Kligerman put tires on late and just started to make a charge through the field. And then he was picking off these guys one by one. And toward the end of it, right, toward that last restart, it was like, here comes Love. And then Kligerman passes. And I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. This was cashing. And Kligerman decides to make the move. At the very end, Jesse Love does not finish in the top 5. In fact, finishes 6th, but plus 375 for a bet that was about to hit.
Yeah. Within a spot. I mean, yeah, it hurts obviously not get it, but I think it was a good call because he was there at the end of the day. That's what you're looking for. TK was surprised. Eric Almirola had speed in stage 2 to carve through the field, plus 20 spots, then fell off in stage 3. Unfortunately, he fell off in stage 3, Rod. We had him top 3 at plus 140. I was all over the Almirola train. Look, he was the fastest car at Kansas a couple weeks ago. You just thought this is the same track. Like, these are our sister tracks. They're so close to each other. You're going to get that again. And I don't know, just didn't feel like we had it again. I didn't see the whole race. I was in and out watching and listening a little bit until near the end. But I did see him carving through the field. And I was like, okay, looks promising. This looks good. But, yeah, I mean, end of the day, 13th place, which is he finished 12th here in the spring. I don't know. Maybe Vegas is just enough different from Kansas that he doesn't have it. But, yeah, this really wasn't even close to cashing at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I mean, I gave the 20 car a lot of credit this week, too, because the 20 car has just been absolutely killing it all over the place. And even the broadcast was a little bit confused as to why the 20 car wasn't necessarily in the conversation for a win all day long. Just like they were confused why this guy didn't end up winning the race. I mean, look, obviously we know why he didn't win the race, but I was giving Justin Allgaier credit at least for a top 3 car at plus 180. Justin Allgaier, 3rd place finish. He actually led 42 laps of this race because he started 6th, cycled his way into the lead, kind of didn't give it up, won stage 2, and then obviously pitted to take the tires and all that stuff. But here's the thing about it, right? I said Justin Allgaier probably won't win this race, but I do think he's going to be a good enough car to be in the mix at the end and at least be a top 3 car. And he was. I mean, that's exactly what he was pretty much most of the day, was just a car that was going to be fighting for 3rd place no matter who was around him. Like, it didn't matter. And thank God he was. And he avoided pianos. Nice, clean race. Even the broadcast was like, Justin Allgaier, like, he's actually running a good race this time. Nothing's happening.
They even mentioned, like, it just has to get to the end or something at one point. And I was like, they know it too. Like, it just, things happen to the guy. And yeah, he kept it clean, cashed this top 3 for you, and looked pretty impressive on the day, which is what you should get from Justin Allgaier a majority of the time. And it seems to always go wrong, which luckily it didn't for you this time. Something that didn't go wrong as well, Rod. AJ Allmendinger, top finishing Chevy, plus 650. Last time I checked, 1st place means you are the top finishing Chevy. Maybe should have took his outright, obviously, but I thought the Toyota was going to win, and Allmendinger would be up there, right? I thought he'd be in the mix. I thought he'd be a fast car. I thought maybe Allgaier has a problem, and it opens up the door for Allmendinger. Didn't even need Allgaier to have a problem. Allgaier still finishes in 3rd place, but Allmendinger gets it done by winning. Cashes the top Chevy bet at plus 650. So, yeah, this was nice. Obviously, he had a very fast car in the day, dominated a majority of the day, like we mentioned at the top of the show, which didn't see that part of it coming. I just thought he would be in the mix and a top 5 guy at the end of the day. You can hopefully grab that top Chevy spot, but goes out and wins it. So at least we had something on him, and plus 650, a pretty decent number. I mean, that's bigger than the outrights that I gave out, at least. So ended up working out to cash this one instead of those.
He was driving his ass off, man. So shout out to AJ. Gotta love it. I mean,
he's been like, he won. He's won at Vegas before, and he doesn't win a ton of oval races. So maybe he should have looked harder at the outright number, I guess. But I didn't see this performance coming. I mean, I wouldn't, even if I would have bet him to win, it wouldn't have been because he's going to lead 100 laps. It would have been because he stays out and saves fuel at the end like Joey Logano did, right? I didn't see this dominating performance coming. So shout out to him and Ticket Punch to fight for that championship, which, boy, that'd be a pretty big thing for him. So, yeah, good to see it for him.
Yep, and I would not complain. I would definitely love to see it. And maybe if there's a good number on an AJ futures right now, you might want to get on that before the books start to correct it. I don't know what it's at right now, but I would be very interested in taking that one out there. So, all right, Winning car number over 18.5 minus 105. Unfortunately, that was the wrong side of it. So I'm going to just recuse myself from this one. Hit it in the Cup Series, didn't hit in this one. You win some, you lose some. At least the one in the Cup Series was plus money to cover it, just in case you didn't win this one. So, yeah, I mean, look, there was a decent smattering around that. Like Ryan Sieg would have cashed this one if he would have been able to catch up. Chandler Smith, Parker Kligerman, Riley Herbst, those were all inside the top 7. So, only guys like Allmendinger, Allgaier, which, by the way, listening to the broadcast, no one else, everybody else in the world screws up Allmendinger and Allgaier. They could not get those guys right all day long.
Well, I can't believe I just stumbled through saying both their names at the same time without fucking it up. So
I know.
I was actually impressed with myself because I kept saying Allgaier, Allmendinger, and then I was trying to make sure I was staying on track, which surprisingly I did. But
indeed,
yeah, it's not easy, Rod.
Nope.
Just for quick reference, Allmendinger is the 4th favorite to win the championship right now, plus 450. So, even though he's locked in, you're still getting a bigger number as far as it goes for a guy that's guaranteed to be in the race. So, something to consider if that's your thing. Outrights, Rod, Eric Almirola 4-1, Chandler Smith 6-1. We talked about Eric. Just a miss, I guess. I don't really know. Smith, we talked about him as well. Decent day, ends up in 4th place. Was he going to win this race? Probably not. So, I don't know. Toyotas just weren't. I really thought they were going to be faster. I thought they were going to be better, and they just didn't have that dominating type speed that we just saw at Kansas for 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know what changed between the two races when the tracks are so. Those are the 2 closest comparison tracks that you can get when you go to each other, and it was completely different here, and I don't know why. But hey, that's how it goes. So missed that. Luckily, we had the AJ Top Chevy instead of hitting the outright.
Yeah, that definitely went a long way to kind of dry the tears of not hitting it outright, because I had Herbst 12-1. Our friends at BetUS gave us a pretty good number on that one. We talked about it. Herbst finished 7th. I don't think he was going to win this race at all. He did lead 4 laps, but it was a bet on a hometown boy, and still for him to finish within a few positions of it, he wasn't going to get there. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't not place this again just if something different happened, right? Riley Herbst started in 7th, like I said, finished 7th. So, you do what you do, and you hit AJ Top Chevys at 650 to make you feel better about it.
That's right. All right, Rod, wrap up their points. AJ is locked into the Final 4 now. Of course, we know same thing as Joey Logano, right? Doesn't matter what happens over the next 2 races. He's get Phoenix for a championship. Allgaier's 32 points to the good. You definitely feel a lot better about that in the Xfinity Series than in the Cup Series, but it can disappear quickly. Of course, he knows that better than anybody with losing that regular season title in the last race. Cole Custer's 16 to the good. Chandler's 8 to the good. Austin Hill 8 to the bad. Jesse Love 13 to the bad. Sam Mayer 23 to the bad. Sammy Smith, who just had an atrocious day, Rod, 53 to the bad. Good chance he's going to need to win one of the next 2 races to get in there, which Martinsville I would not put past him. Real quickly, Rod, since we have a couple extra minutes, odds are out for next week's Cup Series race over on Caesars. Ooh. Kyle Larson, plus 325. So we took what happened last week and made the number shorter. Bella plus 550. Byron at 7-1. Reddick at 8-1. Oh, yeah, kind of like that. Denny at 9-1. Why would you even bet Denny at this point? Blaney at 12-1. Truex at 15. Elliott 15. And so on and so forth from there. So, odds are, at least outrights are up on Caesars. I would probably wait until tomorrow morning for FanDuel because their beginning odds are generally a little better, but might want to look at that Reddick one sooner rather than later.
The Reddick one and the Bell. What is Bell at again?
Yeah, Bell's the second favorite at plus 550. I'm sure it won't be, but this should be a Bell, Larson, Reddick. Like, these guys should excel more so than anybody at this race. But you know how that goes, Rod. See last week, obviously. But I did see, what was the tweet I saw earlier? I was trying to find it. Ryan over at iFantasy Race at Homestead between Cup and Xfinity. Tyler Reddick has finished in the top 4 in 6 of his 7 starts.
Well, in the Cup Series, it's 3 of 4 for him, for Tyler Reddick.
Yeah.
Fourth
so
place.
Adding Xfinity.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Six of 7. So yep. He's been good here and not great at Martinsville. So we'll break that all down tomorrow. of course, on the Cup Series betting show, Rod, but just wanted to toss it out there since I just saw those odds pop up.
No, yeah, that's again. We get jump start on our research for sure. Now I'm digging in. So now I want to get this show done so I can hurry up and get to the research for the Cup Series show. But
exactly.
All right, well then let's wrap up Las Vegas. We'll leave Las Vegas as well and move on to Miami, Homestead, Miami for the next race of the playoffs. Man, this is
all three series in action too, and Homestead is like, we know how good mile and a halves have been, right? We're coming from Las Vegas, good races. Coming from Kansas a couple weeks ago, good races. But Homestead is like mile and a half on steroids as far as the track's even more worn out. It's more slippery and slidey. These guys are going to be ripping the wall. You're going to have that Tyler Reddick tail fin camera that's going to show him basically bouncing off the wall all day. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Really, really excited for Homestead this week. Should be the championship race still, Rod. Unfortunately, we're moving it to March next year for whatever stupid fucking reason. But that's a story for another day. So excited. All three series in action for the remaining three races. So make sure you join us, Rod. See you guys tomorrow for the Cup Series picks show. In the meantime, follow me over on the X at @Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff there. And follow the show as well at NASCAR Gambling.
Yes, sir. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Link in about everything I got going on, whether it's here. Still got my first touchdowns and prop picks. Hit 2 for 3 on the Aaron Rodgers prop picks on last night's show. So had some fun doing that one. Got more coming out this week. And then, of course, the back road. Check out Seth and Elliott for the Homestead Miami recap. And then, look, there's this little site that you can find on my Twitter, Bull Wrestling. Ooh, that would be fun. Pro Bull Riding. We just had somebody hit a plus 650 long shot on that one as well.
Yeah.
So go check it
Justin.
out. Shout out to Justin. Gotta love it. Justin from the Old Fashioned Football, kind of nailing that handicap. So that was a lot of fun. Go find that over there and all the rest of the stuff. Again, like Cody said, we'll see you tomorrow for the Cup Series. Until then, let's go racing and let it ride.
Darkness